Hello and welcome. In today's video, we're going to look at anxiety as a communication. And this is not necessarily the way we would normally look at anxiety. However, the truth is that on some level, anxiety is a communication. And when we look at it as a communication and we treat it as a communication, we can open up a whole world of tools that we already know and understand that relate to communication that will really help with our anxiety. So let's dive in. Now, before we get started, I just want to remind you about my free workshop that you can get access to in the description of this video. And in there, I share a tool, what I believe to be the most powerful tool for reducing your anxiety quickly. It's not a breathing exercise. It's not CBT. Those things are useful, but this works on a completely different level. In fact, this tool is a form of communication. It is the most important aspect of communication. And when you try this, you're going to see immediately that this can already start to reduce your anxiety. I do an exercise in the workshop where we'll try this out and you'll already get to feel it working for you. So make sure to go to the link in the description of this video and get instant access to that free workshop, Mapping Key to Anxiety Free. All right, now let's look at anxiety through the lens of communication. So when we talk about anxiety being a communication, there has to be two parts to this, right? So who is it exactly that is communicating? What are the two parts here that are communicating? Well, as we looked in a previous video, anxiety is thoughts and emotions. So and thoughts and emotions are the way you experience anxiety. But then who is it that is experiencing the anxiety? Who feels the feelings and who thinks the thoughts? You have this part of you which is kind of like your awareness, your ability to observe these things happening. And this is in some way separate from the experience itself, right? There is the experience and the experiencer. For some people, this is very natural and easy to understand. And for some people, I know you might think I'm crazy, but if you look at it this way, this will be very helpful for understanding anxiety, because really anxiety is something that is happening between these 2 points. Okay, so to understand and get free from anxiety, we really need to make this distinction. There is your nervous system, so your nervous system being your thoughts and emotions, or the part of you that creates these thoughts and emotions, and your awareness, the ability to experience these thoughts and emotions, the one who it happens to, the experience happens to. So these two parts of you are in a relationship. Okay, your experience, your nervous system, and you, your awareness, are in a relationship. You are in a relationship with you. We've heard this so much, we know it's kind of true. Your internal relationship, right? It's nothing new. Your nervous system and you are always relating with each other. They affect each other. So your nervous system sends thoughts and emotions that affects you, and you are also able to have an effect on your thoughts and emotions. So these two parts are always communicating. They're sending information and receiving information between them. Now, how does that relate to anxiety? Well, as we saw before, anxiety is thoughts and emotions. So the thoughts and emotions are the means by which your nervous system communicates with you. Your nervous system is trying to get your attention to tell you what it thinks is important. So every thought and every emotion is a communication from your nervous system to you about what it thinks is important. Now, we know that the system is not necessarily well calibrated, and if you have anxiety, then it's definitely not well calibrated. However, this is what it's trying to do. And another important point is that it will not stop until it thinks that you've got the message and that you understand. In fact, this is exactly what overwhelming anxiety is. It's when your nervous system is just sending messages, and it's not able to get your attention. And basically what's happening is that there is a breakdown in communication internally, okay? There is not good quality communication happening inside you. Now, how is this helpful? Well, if we're in a relationship and anxiety is a communication, we can use the same tools as for external relationships and communication, okay? There is a wealth of knowledge online, in books, there are teachers, there's just so much stuff out there about communication and relationships. If you study those things, you can relate all of that stuff to this internal relationship and this internal communication. In fact, you don't even really need to necessarily go out and read. If you just ask yourself, what are the elements of good communication? What are the elements of a healthy relationship? And how can I apply that to myself? If you just ask those three questions and see what comes up, you'll already start to get some tools that you can apply to yourself to start to rebuild the relationship, start to build better communication. And when you do that, when you start to have better communication inside, you will naturally start to have less anxiety, because the anxiety really is a breakdown in communication. Now, I want to ask you a question. What do you think is the number one thing, the most important thing in any communication and any relationship? Let me know in the comments below what you think that is. Now, the same thing, the same aspect of communication and relationships that is so important is the foundation for the free tool that I teach in my Map and Key to Anxiety Free workshop. So make sure that you jump in and get free access to that right now and see in the exercise how to apply this in your life, and you'll already see that this will already start to reduce your anxiety. Plus, I'm going to send you a free short meditation to implement this in your life when you have anxiety. So anytime that you have anxiety, you'll be able to use this short meditation, and it will already start to have a powerful effect at reducing your anxiety no matter where you are or what you're doing. So make sure to jump in and get that for free right now. And if you have anxiety and you want to get free from it, if you want to take back control of your life, be a leader in your life, and just get free from this horrible feeling and take your life back so that you can enjoy it the way that you want, then make sure to subscribe to this channel and hit the notifications bell, because I'm going to be creating a lot more content that's going to be relevant to you to help you to get free from anxiety. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got tons of value out of it, and let's get free together.